All right, Lakeview teachers, this is just a little video kind of just talking about the October 17th meeting facilitation. I apologize for not being able to attend your staff meeting today. I'm actually at RCW doing some curriculum work with them all day today, which has been on my calendar since last spring. So we'll do it this way, and hopefully Scott or Courtney can answer some of your questions if you have any. If not, feel free to let me know and I can get back to you next week. First and foremost, thank you for doing this and facilitating these meetings. We're trying to kind of bring back some of the content area groups a little bit, get some grade levels together. We didn't do that last year, so we've heard some feedback from our teachers and a recommendation from our teacher advisory committee as well as our principals was to bring this back. So we're bringing back some of these content area grade level meetings in a little way here. So talk about what's expected of you and things like that. So here's the schedule for the day on October 17th. We have muffins and coffee. It'll be held at Dawson Boyd, by the way. Muffins and coffee from 8 to 8:35. Dave Burgess will begin at 8:40 on the topic of Teach Like a Pirate. He'll go till about 11:15, 11:20. That is a whole group keynote, so everybody will be in attendance for that. 11:20 to about 12:15 will be lunch. 12:10 roughly, whenever people are finished, and then the second session in the afternoon will begin with one group. So we'll split the groups in half. Pretty much elementary, high school is the split, but not exactly. So I don't want to make that assumption that exactly high school elementary split. But we'll some groups will see Burgess first from 12:20 to 1:20. And then that the other half of the teachers will be in job-alike, grade-alike groups in the afternoon for an hour. And so do that for an hour, 10 minutes passing time, and then we'll flip-flop. So then group 2 will come with Burgess, and group 1 will do job-alike, grade-alike. Very similar to kind of what we did with Curios last spring. He keynoted in the morning, and then we had district time in the afternoon, but we had half of the districts were with Curios, half the districts were in district time. Same concept, just with job-alike, grade-alike groups. And then the afternoon speaking topic for Burgess is Teaching Outside the Box, crash course in creativity. So we'll get a couple hours all day with Burgess, and then an hour with your job-alike, grade-alike. And your job is to lead those job-alike, grade-alike groups. And so the expectations for that is number one. I just want to say it's a pretty important part of the day. It's a part that people really look forward to be able to speak with others in their similar content areas, grade level areas. We're going to do it around the topic of Burgess and Teach Like a Pirate. But nonetheless, you get to share experiences and things like that with other teachers. And so kind of we expect you to facilitate the room and facilitate the process. I'll say this again later, but we don't expect you to be the expert on Teach Like a Pirate by any means. Basically just facilitating the process of discussion. And so just some tips, pointers, things like that to facilitating a group. You're all teachers, so you kind of know how group works and things like that, and discussions work. But any group larger than 10, feel free to split the group into smaller individual groups, pods of 4, 5, 6, whatever, but just to get that number down a little bit for discussion purposes and to keep people engaged in the discussion. Some of the singleton areas, art, music, that type of stuff, feel free to stay in a larger group, whatever you want to do, whatever you feel as a facilitator that your group needs, do that. But if we're into the 20, 25 people in a room, make sure you just split that up into smaller groups. Start and end on time. Just don't try not to end early, please, especially that first group and the second group, because it becomes a distraction as people start to congregate outside the auditorium in Dawson. It becomes loud, people are talking, things like that. So try not to end early, please, and really start on time, end on time. Just a good note for any type of facilitation or any type of meeting. Your discussion questions will be provided. They're going to be on the back of all the agendas, so everyone should have the discussion questions even prior to hearing Burgess speak, so they can have those, jot some notes if they wish, while Burgess is speaking in the morning, or if they get a chance to see him prior to meeting in the afternoon. So I'll show you the questions. I'll make sure your principals have them. They can feel free to hand them out at the meeting here today, but it's not expected that your group will get through all the questions. Questions are just there for a guide to start discussion, to spur thoughts, things like that. So not expected to get through all of them at all. We don't expect you to defend Burgess's message by any means. There might be parts of it that you disagree with. Perfectly fine. Also not asking you to defend the day, anything like that. So if anybody gets a little ornery or things about the day, that's not your job to defend it. Just let them know that there'll be an opportunity to provide feedback in the form of a survey at the end of the or coming out tomorrow or next week or whatever. So we don't expect you to be the Teach Like a Pirate expert either. We just expect you to get them into groups and facilitate the meeting, and we expect you to do it in a positive way. It's a great reflection on Lakeview culture, district, in the way that you present yourselves to other teachers. So just start the meeting positive, be positive from the start, and typically things will follow suit. And so we just really expect you to facilitate the group, facilitate the process of discussion. Do what's best for you and your group, and really don't forget to participate in discussion as well. And so if you break into smaller groups, join a group and discuss as well, so you get something out of it too. So really just facilitate the process is what we're looking for you to do. And if you have any questions on that, feel free to ask myself. You can talk to your principals. Your principals can let me know. We can clear things up if there's anything that needs clarification. While I have you as an audience in front of me here, I'm going to give a little plug for MELT. Still looking for some presenters for MELT, so especially on this Teach Like a Pirate theme, if there's things that you've done with Teach Like a Pirate, be a great thing to carry through into the MELT in January. So if you're interested in presenting, talk to your principal, or you can talk to me as well. There is a stipend involved for presenting, and we'd love to have you. So feel free to let me know if you have any questions about MELT or anything. You can let me know that as well. So again, thank you from Karen and I at the MRVED here. We really appreciate your willingness to facilitate these groups and participate in the day. So look forward to it, and enjoy your weekend.